So I'm going to be very careful with this story, but a British minister, former Labour MP, and Undersecretary for Defense Ivor Kaplan had been arrested after being confronted by an activist group stopping people from hurting young people. I think if you understand what I'm trying to say here, tiptoeing around the eggshells, and you understand what I'm saying. Boy, oh boy, remember a time when things weren't so, I guess, padded and safe? So on Saturday, this story took place. So if it flew under your radar, right now the British government's dealing with a lot of supposed grooming situations. On Saturday, clips emerged on social media of a man resembling Kaplan being confronted by members of the Stop Stings vigilante group at a railway station, later being handcuffed by the police. The group told The Sun that it had arranged a meeting with Kaplan while posing as a younger male. The leader of Stop Stings, Dean Rowland, claimed that the activist had done a lot of research before this meeting took place. And as it stands right now, these are the videos that have right now gone viral over social media. Case in point,
you told
this right here. So let's go ahead and
you told this
pull this up here.
child that you was going to go and meet him.
That wasn't, because Stephen will be at work.
At 1 o'clock, you said that you was going to go and meet him at quarter to.
If we could, I don't know, trains, etc.
Yeah, you see.
I don't.
Now, see, now he's got that fear in his eye right there. You see that fear in his eye? You got caught. What's in the text messages and emails, my friend? 16 seconds in. I apologize. I will not pause again.
No.
But wait. But here's the slippery thing. You said you had no intention, but now you concede that actually, yeah, I might have been planning to take this child to meet Stephen. So you admit that that's what you were trying to do.
I don't know his age.
You know his age accurately. This child regularly.
If I knew his actual age,
This
and
child.
I don't know that, then I wouldn't do anything. Obviously.
This child regularly told you that they were at school and they were doing school-related activities.
Yeah, but that's not the same as knowing age. I have never. I want to ask him what his age is, and I've never done that.
Yes, you did.
No, I have never done that.
Of course.
No, I have never done that. So I want to.
There's a thing called text messages and emails, sir. And yes, while there are subtitles, I will be raising the volume for this when I clip this video.
Ask that question.
You've asked that question. I've read it. Clear in simple terms.
Anyway.
You know exactly how old this child was.
And you wanted this child to bring other children, so that you could abuse more than one child.
No.
You used to be you used to be a veterans minister, didn't you?
Never happened.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah, we're all veterans, and do you know what? It makes me absolute sick that you had anything to do with our armed forces.
I haven't done anything. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that.
To do what? You're not going to do what? Going to do what?
I was going into town.
What don't you understand? The reason you are not taking this child to have sex with... No, stop it. The reason you are not meeting this child to have sex...
All right, we're going to pause here because, again, you got to be a little bit careful with some of the guidelines here on YouTube, of course. But, I mean, this is a scumbag individual.
Is that, of course.
Now, here's the thing. In case you may not know who he is, here's him on GBN. So, folks... Here's him not under duress.
What I am really against of what Musk has said, around obviously one of our very long-standing members.
Hey, that kind of looks like that guy in the red hat.
And also the Prime Minister himself. Those type of comments are not acceptable, and they've not been acceptable by what he said. And clearly, that is something that I think the United States will have to take up as a matter for them once there is a new president in a couple of weeks' time.
Which comments specifically? What is comments on Tommy Robertson? Which one specifically?
Well, the Tommy Robertson is even Nigel Farage that thinks it was a ridiculous idea. But the comments that I'm particularly concerned about are the comments relating to what a senior figure in the Labour Party has done as part of her role being a minister, and of course the abuse that He has tried to bring on Keir Starmer, which is completely and utterly unfound. You know,
What
this
Jess
shouldn't
Phillips-
be happening from the United Kingdom.
So you're talking about the comments about Jess Phillips, that she should be in
Of
prison,
course.
really? Yeah.
No, no, of course she shouldn't be. She's done more over the years in terms of safeguarding than probably anyone else in the United Kingdom.
As the reports are now coming out, there has been scandal after scandal of numerous people within the Labour Party in Great Britain. By the way, shout out to our British audience out there. Seems to me that there's a lot of problems not only here in the USA but overseas as well. And the disease is politicians and institutions screwing over and abusing the people. Folks, you know, when Cat Williams said in 2024, all lies will be exposed, and Tiberius Monk is asking, where's Chris Hansen at? Listen, it would be great for him to show up and say, hey, how you doing? But all lies will be exposed, and the lies must continue to be exposed.
All lies will be exposed.
Because this is a sad example of just massive corruption, abuse of power. And yet this politician right here literally caught. And again, just so we can compare and contrast notes, as we should. But there he is right before us in this screen right here. Looks shockingly just like that guy right there.
And
You say
that's
that, but why would she not? Well, why would she then not look to do even more and make sure that, you know, in terms of an inquiry for the Oldham scandal, which in fact, I think it was in 2022 or 2019, there was actually some sort of inquiry, and it said that Oldham Council were not fit to, the councils were not fit to run the council, but she's turning it back to the council and suggesting that they should have an inquiry of their own.
That's, that's true. That's true, Nana, about that. But also in 2022,
so as safeguarding minister, you would think that she would want a national big inquiry into all of this.
But just to say, in 2022, there was a full-on national document published. The Tory government had 20 proposals to it in that document, and none were taken forward by anyone in the Conservative Party. So that's a matter
they're terrible as well.
Party.
No, they're terrible as well. Nobody's saying that they did a good thing. You know.
So this is him just trying to cover himself up. But folks, I do believe in having at least some kind of justice, at least some kind of a happy ending, because unfortunately, while we are talking about this story, I mean, you only scratch the surface. We have barely even truly held accountable for the people in the black book of Jeffrey E. And, you know, there are many high-profile politicians, actors, directors, people of influence, millionaires and billionaires. The top echelon of high society are in that little black book. And I remember giving this warning, as did other people in independent media, that just because Jeffrey E. is gone doesn't mean that the problem or sickness is gone, because there's always going to be somebody else out there waiting in the wings. And this problem is far more devastating and problematic than we really knew. But yet there's always that shield wall of protection by the establishment, corporate media, political ruling class. But at least there could be some justice, a little bit. Some justice. Maybe this will put a smile to your face, but know this. This is only the beginning. We haven't even started.
And then that's his bag as well as possible. So I thought you'd get your bottle of water back.
And sweets.
Right, I'm just going to search you before we go anywhere. Okay? How many layers have you got underneath
The
this?
sweets in there as well.
3.
Oh, that's smuggy. The sweets in the bag.
There's nothing, there's no bottles. Phone.
And what are we doing? Okay, is I am going to be seizing your phone at 12:38. Okay, and for the purpose of that is I believe it holds evidence on that device. Okay, so I'm placing it in evidence bag.
So that's him being confronted and detained by the police. But it's more. There's so much more to this. Now, I understand we recently did a segment earlier in the show with Spike Cohen with You Are the Power in regards to helping people who are stuck in abusive systems. And I also want everybody to know that it's not only that the system is abusive, not only here in the United States, but this is a global issue of politicians hurting, abusing their power, and in turn, continuing that cycle of abuse among people. And, we have to be careful on the internet. And for those of you who have families, you know, we have to be eternally vigilant for what we expose ourselves to. The internet is and can be a wonderful tool for good. It can be. It truly can be. Maybe that's me being too idealistic, but also let's wake up to reality. The internet is also a very dangerous place, and there are many vile, horrific individuals out there. I'm not even going to call them human. There are monsters out there that take human form that want to hurt people. And they come in many shapes and forms, all right? And it's just not a mustache cartoon twirling villain. Sometimes it's a person in power who feeds off a system. We've seen how Hollywood here in America protects people like Harvey Weinstein, for example, or is that people knew about Diddy and all his parties, or how people knew Jeffrey E. I mean, both parties, the Democrat and Republican parties, and their politicians in it, both Trump and Bill Clinton knew about Jeffrey E. So while this is happening overseas, the system, the sickness is global. And maybe for 2025, people start standing up and doing the right thing.